review call that I had this morning. Most of the offers that you guys are going to be starting on is going to be a make money online offer. So a B2C info product, teaching people how to make their first $1,000, $10,000, $20,000 online. Similar to what you guys have obviously bought from me. That's what you're learning to do. You're learning appointment setting, you're learning closing. So this was basically a laydown. It probably wouldn't have been a laydown if I didn't ask him some hard questions throughout the call. But I think it's definitely a good one to review. A fresh call is always very good to review, a fresh piff. This is literally earlier this morning. So I have about 30 minutes. I'm going to quickly review it, talk about the good things I did, maybe the things that I could have improved. And yes, take notes, take a pen and pad. This is definitely going to be a textbook close. Like this is what you want most of your closes, most of your calls to look like. It's not every day you need to battle people in objections and you need to go to the end of the earth with them. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's actually watch it. Slow me down. Franz, what's happening?
Hey, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can see me as well. Just for more context, this call is it's for a TikTok biz up, so making money online with TikTok. It's for Musa Mustafa. If you guys know that, Musi02 on Instagram. This is his offer. I'm going to put it in 1.5 speed just so we can move through a little bit quicker. You can also see, if you look over to the right hand, you can see the transcript. So you can see if you don't understand what either of us are saying, just read the transcript.
Yeah.
No worries. Whereabouts are you? Is it Germany? Is that
Austria right now.
You're from Austria. Okay. I've honestly
I'm from Germany, but I'm living in Austria.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Well, bro, I'm Irish myself, so ever too fast, friends, slow me down. Austria, though, I've honestly never been. Closest place I've probably been is like Poland. That's about it.
Yeah, okay, that's not close. No.
Yeah, it's not close at all. Exactly. So, yeah, we're a little bit far off. Have you ever been over this way to Ireland?
Yeah, I've been to Scotland, but not to Ireland. But I was thinking about, there's a thing I call national.
So, just a quick note straight away. Obviously, I'm just building a bit of rapport off the bat. Some people do this, some people don't. Like, I can't recommend either way is like good for either way. Like, it's just really what suits you. Personally, I always build a little bit of rapport. I build a little bit of a connection with the person at the beginning, talk about where they're from, talk about if I've been to that country, or just ask a question or two about it, just to kind of get into my own rhythm, get into my own flow of things. But if you're more comfortable just starting off the call with, what's up? Can you see me? Can you hear me? So I know you wanted to talk about the program and just go straight into things. That's okay. If that works for you and you don't lose rapport or they don't get thrown off by that, just do that. It's no issue. So, like either way is fine. If you want to build a bit of rapport, get into the swing of things, you certainly can. Don't be afraid to ask about the weather. A lot of people talk badly about it, but at the same time, you don't want to sit in building rapport for like 5 minutes. You need to take control of the call pretty early, which you're going to see I'm about to do.
Trails. I wanted to do it probably this year. So they're like trails throughout England and Ireland and Scotland.
Trails, like, are you talking motorbike trails?
No, walking by foot.
Like walking trails. Okay, 100% friends. Well, I know we're connected on iMessage. We can stay in touch there moving forward.
I'm
but
jumping
just to
in
introduce
now.
myself, you can see my name is Scout. One executive, like I'm on the board now on Moose's team. And these calls, super straightforward, literally just get to know you, understand what you're doing right now, where you're currently at, and then understand your goals, friends. Like what actually has you looking into the creativity program, making money with TikTok. And yeah, if the inner circle, the help from Musa and myself, the team, is actually a good step to help you get to them goals, no matter what they are. I'm just here to help you decide on that, bro. Whether it's to join the inner circle, get the help, make some money on TikTok, or bro, like if it's not a fit for some reason on our side or your side, like that's cool. Like I'll still give you some advice, break down the business, and yeah, you can leave the call with that. But catch me up. What actually motivated you to jump on the call and what's going on?
So pretty simple frame. I'm literally just letting him know in a kind of covered in fairy dust way that you're going to make a decision by the end of the call, right? Whether it's going to be join or not, join the inner circle or not, like I don't really care, but I'm just here to help you decide on that. That's kind of the energy that you're coming with. But I'm still welcoming. I'm still open. I'm like, look, if it's not a fit, no worries. I'll still give you some advice. Obviously in my head, I'm like, I'm going to close this guy. I'm going to get the sale. But it is a good piece of advice, that energy, just bring that energy in general to the call, because then you're not going to be attached to the income. Look, some people aren't a fit for the program that you're trying to sell them. So just make that clear at the start of the call. Look, I'm here to help you decide either way. That also gets rid of then just thinking it's a consultation call. They actually know you're in a real conversation when you set the frame like this. But again, don't be an asshole. Be nice about it. But yeah, then just ask them what motivated you to jump on the call.
So I think I first stumbled upon Musa a couple of years ago, actually. But there was a course on, I think you know him, it's no, not Mosi, but Hamza. Musa
Hamza,
did,
Hamza Ahmed, yeah.
Full community, and Musa did a course on it. And I started it, and then it just deleted the course. And that's why I didn't really start with TikTok stuff. And
Hamza deleted his course, did he?
No, not the course, but the course with Musa.
Okay, you got rid of Musa's one. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I texted them, but they wouldn't send it to me. So I just stopped it, and then, all the university stuff, all the other.
So straight off the bat, like, this isn't the coldest lead in the world. Obviously, he's literally bought a course. He has seen a course from the influencer I'm selling for right now in the past. It was through a different guy, Hamza, through his course. But yeah, he's still seeing Musa as, somebody that can help him, teach him. So it's not like the coldest lead in the world. Most of my leads are actually cold traffic. I've just picked this one because it's good to see a solid call, like a solid, even organic call. It's going to help you guys as well. But yeah, straight off the bat, I'm thinking, okay, he's already bought a course in the past. Like, this should be pretty good lead.
Stuff happens, and now I'm just back here. I did some social media marketing in the meantime, some trading, some all of the other stuff,
And what do you do right now? So you're studying in university at the moment?
Yeah, I'm studying university. I'm doing right now.
And are you working on the side, or are you doing any side
stuff? I have like an internship and a work kind of internship, like for a consulting company.
Yeah, okay. Is it tied to what you're doing in college?
Not really. So I'm studying psychology.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, you're doing an internship at a consulting firm?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
It's
an interesting one, yeah. I mean, psychology probably helps you somewhat with consulting, I would imagine. Okay, and bro, tell me, what's the plan? So right there, I'm literally just figuring out, like, what is this guy actually doing day to day? Is he in college? Is he working a part-time job on the weekends? Is he getting paid? What's his setup? Like, there's nothing too complex, or there's no crazy way that you ask that. Just be like, yeah, what are you doing right now? Like, the same way if you were talking to somebody in the sauna, if you met them in the gym, like, yeah, what do? You in college, or what's the story? And then once they tell you, once you have an understanding, okay, like, now I know this guy is a student, he's doing an internship at the same time. Now let's ask, right, why do you want to run this business? Like, why are you looking into TikTok, potentially starting this online business, right? Again, it's not going to be TikTok for everybody watching, but it can be anything, whatever business they're looking to get started into. You jump in and you'll see what I do here. So just keep watching here. This is how I ask him what has him interested, basically, and jump straight into like, you can easily ask them, okay, and what makes you want to look into TikTok? And sometimes they'll give you a solid answer. They'll be like, yeah, I want to get into TikTok because I want to retire my mom, and they'll just cut straight in with you. But you'll see the kind of little rant that I go on here. It cuts straight into it and just makes them completely open up and give their genuine motivation off the bat. Just watch how I do it. Okay, and bro, tell me, what's the plan when it comes to the creativity program? As you can do, friends, everyone jumps on the call with me, and across the board, they tell me they want to make more money, right? Which, I'm there with you. That's exactly why I started. More money or more freedom. Like, everyone's kind of after the same thing. That's why I started. That's why Musa started. And like, money makes the world go round, bro, right? No matter if you're in Austria, Germany, Ireland, Nottingham in the UK, Cape Town, like where you recently seen Musa was, you need money. That's the bottom line. But at the same time, it's like, money is just really numbers on a screen, right? And money is just paper that they've done and printed, right? And we could go down a whole rabbit hole with that. But the inner circle is a really small group. I don't know if you took a look at the video that I pinged across. It was, when I actually made that video, it was capped at 40, but we've capped it at 30 for 2025. So because of that, we always want to know your actual motivation, or like your why behind the money, right? And like, the reason for that is we've actually got an invested interest in you taking this business long term, and basically like being a long term clipper, which ties into Creo. It ties into our software company Creo. I'll touch more on that as well. I'll talk about our ecosystem. But basically, yeah, we want to know your why. And I'll give you an example so we're on the same page. Like, if you take even take Musa himself. Yeah, he has built up all of this knowledge, most importantly with the creativity program. But France, Musa's why, his motivation, evidently was to travel and see the world, right? Because you see him going to Dubai, bringing his family, going to Bali, Malaysia, the French Alps, basically doing side quests, right? Like Iron Man's house in Cape Town, if we call it spade a spade. But like, that was his why, though. That was his motivation. He wanted the location freedom. He didn't necessarily want to be stuck in like Nottingham. So I'm going to pause it here because I've just given an example of an underlying why or an underlying motivation. I'm about to give another example just to give contrast. So he has two paths to go down, or he can say, no, I'm not like Musa, or I'm not like this other example I'm about to give. But the reason I'm doing this is because if I just straight up asked him, okay, like, what's the motivation, for getting into TikTok? He'll just say something surface level, like, yeah, I want to make more money, straight up. Or, I'm just interested in like learning a new skill, or something surface level like this, right? It's not something that I can sell to him because of. So I'm basically giving him a template of how I want him to answer and tell me what's wrong with his life and what he wants. So I gave the example of the influencer, Musa. The reason he started was to have location freedom. So then Franz is listening to that and he might say to himself, okay, yeah, I kind of want location freedom. Like, I don't like that I'm stuck in Germany, or he was specifically in Austria. So he can relate to that and he can agree and he can give me like a genuine reason within his own life below the surface of just, I want more money. So that's the reason I'm doing this. I'm giving him a template of how I want him to answer, because a lot of times, like, people are agreeable and they do want to give you the answers that you're asking them, but they don't actually know what you're asking them. So it's good to clarify what you're asking them and what kind of answer you're looking for from them, because then they just like take the stage and give it to you. Basically, you'll see he does it. Like, so yeah, I'll show you here. So I'm about to give a second example of a different underlying why, or a different underlying motivation
in the UK. So that was his why. Then contrast that to, like, I was talking to this guy Paul a few weeks ago, and he's in central London. So he's in like the hustle and bustle of central London, and he's a bit older than us. What age are you? Early 20s, roughly?
21, yeah.
So I'm 21 as well. So we're the same age. But I was talking to Paul, and he's late 40s, and he did everything the right way. So, like, you know, the right way. Went to university, got his corporate job, you know, climbed his way up the ladder, and he's comfortable. He's making like 6 figures, 8-9K a month. But God bless his soul, he's just doing ridiculous hours. So it's the classic case of like the golden handcuffs, right? He's doing, you know, they have him doing night shifts. Some executive at a company, so he's doing self-inflicted 24-hour shifts on the phone, and he's just working.
Another note on this: always give them a name, and always speak about it as, like, this is true, by the way. Like, I was talking to that guy Paul. It's better if it's true, but if you don't have like a solid example, you can make one up. But just make sure to give them a name, and make sure to talk about them like they are like an actual normal person. Like you had this chat with them.
Work.
Do that, because it makes it seem real. Otherwise, it just seems so scripted. It doesn't, like, you can see here as I'm talking to Franz, like, he's nodding his head. He's, you know, he can see that I'm actually engaged and I'm thinking about this. I even look off to the side sometimes, basically being like, you know, I'm thinking about this on the spot, as if I haven't said it 20 times in the past 3 days, you know?
So for someone like Paul, he's not looking for like an insane amount of money or location freedom. Man, he just wants his fucking life back. Basically, he wants to be able to sleep at a normal time. He wants to be able to.
He's laughing there.
That's
he's literally buying into what I'm saying right now.
Okay, yeah, just double checking. You never know. But Paul, he got 2 daughters. He was just like, yeah, he just wants to sit in the evening and watch a movie with them rather than go to the home office and keep working after coming home. So anyways, bro, you get the point. Everyone is different. But for you, yeah, what's the motivation here? What's your why?
So you always want to end it off with like, yeah, you get the point. I'm kind of rambling, like as if you just made that up completely off the spot. Yeah, I'm kind of rambling. But for you, what's your why? And then like lean in and look interested in them. Like, yeah, what's your why? Like that.
I think I'm in the early 20s. You have the capacity to work all day, but yeah, I don't want to. I don't know. I thought about it a lot. You know, doing a normal job, maybe getting paid 6 figures, but I don't really like the idea. So the idea of making money online really stuck in my mind for a couple of years now.
So they're going to start giving you some real stuff, but naturally it's still going to be slightly surface level because it's the first thing that they're coming out with, right? They're not going to tell you that, let's say you sell a fitness offer and the person that you're selling to is a dad. He's not going to tell you that his son, you know, called him fat the other day and he called him chubby or something like that, because that's really what you're selling to. That's like the moment of pain that's really going to make them buy. Like, oh, my son, you know, I got out of breath when I was playing with my son and he said that I don't really play with him a lot anymore because I'm fat or something like that. They're not going to say that off the bat, but he is going to say something like, yeah, you know, I just want to have a bit more energy for the kids, for example. What you're going to do is use exactly their words, right? So, and just prod into the words. So right here, he said, I don't really like the idea of a 9-to-5 job. What does that mean? Why doesn't he like the idea? That's all I'm asking. So you can see here, I used his exact words. Why don't you like the idea? You don't, and the reason I keep saying exact words is because then they can get mad at you and they can feel like you are putting something on them. You're just taking what they said and you're clarifying, right? It's like you're using their own words against them. So they can't be like if I came back to him and I said, okay, why don't you want to feel like a slave in a 9-to-5? Like, he's going to say, I didn't say I don't want to feel like a slave. I just said I don't like the idea of it, right? So like, but if I say, why don't you like the idea of it? He might come back and be like, yeah, I just feel like a slave. But they don't want you to say it. So you just need to use the words that they're giving you and prod more into them.
Why don't you like the idea of,
so you're not dependent on anyone, and also I don't have a father anymore, so I feel at least some kind of, what do you call it?
Yeah, bro, I already know what you're going to say.
I have a sister, I have a mother.
Yeah.
yeah, I want to provide for them, or at least be able to.
God bless you. Yeah. Well, I actually just want to say, yeah, it was always just me and my mum when I was growing up, so I understand. Let's chat first about you said you don't really like the idea of a regular.
So I've got that in my head now. He literally just told me he doesn't have a dad and he wants to provide for his mum and his sister. That's heavy pay. That's like heavy motivation, right? And yeah, it's true. It's just me and my mum when I was growing up. So I did actually relate to him, and I showed him in real time, look, I'm a real person. Like, I relate to what you're saying. What you can do as well, like depending on, it really depends. Like, there's always a way that you can relate to somebody, right? And there's always a way that you can genuinely understand them. And when they share something like that with you, a personal truth, just stick with it for a second. Like, just like show empathy. At the end of the day, it is just a person at the other side of the call. Like, show empathy for them. Show them, look, I understand, man. Like, you know, for me, I genuinely related to him. But let's say he talks about, you know, he could have said something like, you know, I lost my partner recently or something like that. Just relate to them and say like, yeah, I lost mine recently, or something along the lines of that. There's always something that you can relate to them with. And if there's not, man, like, or woman, whoever's watching this, like, I'm okay sometimes with doing a white lie, so they feel as though you relate to them a little bit more. Like, even lying, like the odd time I lie about having a kid or something like that. Like, I'm okay with doing that, but lying about what product you're selling is a big no-go. You can't do that because it's literally illegal. But I don't mind slightly lying, depending on what offer that you're on about having a child or having, you know, a partner that you don't have or something like that. Just to show that you relate with them a little bit, and so they relate with you more.
5, a regular job. Why is that, bro? Because as you can imagine, you know, 95% of the world do, right?
Yeah. I think
so. I'm going to come back to his mum and his sister, by the way. I have that in the back pocket. But first, I want him to tell me a little bit more about why he doesn't want the 9-to-5 life, because Ollie's really said he doesn't want to depend on people, but it hasn't been specific, right? I want him to say something like, I was working a job and I really didn't like it because my boss was a dickhead or something like that. So I'm saying here, yeah, look, most people do go the 9-to-5 route. Like, what makes you want to take a step out? And you need to like kind of word it like that. You need to slow down a little bit so they slow down and they really tell you why.
Yeah, I've really thought about it. You know, and I thought, okay, maybe 10, 20K a month. But I didn't want to, you know, kind of sell my life or sell my soul to some company just to work for them. So for me, this idea is really, I just don't like it. I just want to work for myself and my own, you know, like the things I want to achieve, not for the, you know, like some company.
You want ownership. Do you feel like you kind of feel like that now with the internship?
Yeah, the internship for me is more like a stepping stone, you know. So
no, for sure. But I mean, when you actually have to show up to work, when you actually go and work in the internship, do you slightly feel like a small version of that?
Like the normal internship, it's also like just online stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like you could have an online consulting job, for example, after school, right?
Yeah, but I thought about it, but at least now, I just don't want to work with people anymore.
How come?
I don't know. It was just so frustrating to, you know, also as a psychologist, you see all the problems in people, and you can tell them the solutions, but if the people won't do it themselves, nothing changes, and the people won't do it. So I also talked been to the Philippines now, and then a study program, summer school kind of thing.
Yeah.
I also met there like what you call private equity guy, and he talked with me about the exact same thing that also in consulting. That's the problem. You can tell the companies what they should do, but if they won't do it, you know, nothing changes.
Yeah, they're not capable of actually doing it.
He's in private equity, so you can just force the people to do what.
Yeah, just okay. Yeah, because.
So again, I'm just kind of clarifying. I'm like, seriously, why doesn't he want to go the 9-to-5 route? That's all I'm actually thinking in my head. I heard him say the word frustrating. That's exactly what you're looking for. Frustrating, tiring, you know, like he said he feels like a slave. I think he said something along the lines of that. Like you always want to jump on them words, right? So I'm going to come back now. I said, okay, and you're saying it's a bit frustrating. You'll see I'm going to ask him that. But overall, the energy I'm coming with is like just genuinely trying to understand him. Like, yeah, why don't you like the 9-to-5? Because everyone doesn't like it for different reasons. So
he owns the company. Okay, and you're saying it's a bit frustrating. Like, when was that? Did you recently have a conversation with somebody and they were just not listening? Or?
So, sorry, what I've actually done there as well, that's like a double whammy. So I use the word frustrating, but I also, he's still being a little bit vague, and it's been maybe 2 or 3 questions now where he's kind of keeping it vague. So the reason I go, when was that? Even though he didn't specifically refer to a moment, like I can basically act like I thought he was referring to a specific moment, and then he's going to have to pull a specific moment out of his own mind and tell me that day that he was frustrated. He's going to be in that, like he's going to feel frustrated again because he's going to be thinking about that day. So I'm saying, you know, okay, you're saying it's a bit frustrating. When was that?
because then he's gonna be like, okay, that day 2 months ago was what I was really thinking about. So yeah, I'm just trying to get like a specific moment or a specific kind of moment every day out of him that he tells me, yeah, it's frustrating.
It's just, all the time, even if I see my friends and all of them complain, yeah, I want to do more stuff, I want to do this, I want to do that, and nobody does anything.
Yeah, it does sound frustrating.
I want to,
and bro,
help the people that are.
So again, he just gives me something vague. So obviously what I'm trying isn't working. So I'm just going to go back to his mom and his sister for now. And then I'm just going to move away from it, because if I keep asking, why is it frustrating? Blah, blah, blah. He's just going to get annoyed. So I'm coming back to his other motivation, providing for his mom, providing for his sister.
Do something.
Yeah, and bro, coming back to what you mentioned beforehand, because I obviously related to it, because my why, a big thing for me was helping my mom when I started out. Just more background, I used to do construction myself. So I came out of school, I was in college doing construction. And honestly, my mom got sick. That was, so she couldn't actually literally go to work at all. She couldn't. So I had to step up, pay the bills, and my construction wage at the time just literally wouldn't do that. So my first why was take care of her, making sure her bills were actually paid. She's just my neighbor now, but that was like my first kind of goal, my first why.
So I'm sharing something personal with him again, giving him an example of how I want him to answer. And then I'm going to go at him and say, what's the reason you want to help them? And I want them to say something similar.
You said that you want to help your mom and your sister. Like, what do you mean? Are you talking in terms of bills, or how do you want to help them?
Yeah, just to be able, I think that my mom and my sister are not really, it's not necessary for me to provide for them, but just the feeling for being able to provide for them. So if something happens, or if something, that I can just care for them. And
What do you mean if something happens? Do you mean if one of them gets sick, kind of like my mom?
Or also that's like a really big political problem in Germany, and there's also like a reason where when I'm thinking about it, also maybe kind of the reason why I'm here in Austria.
Oh. So what is it? What's the issue? What's going on in Germany?
It's really it's hard to describe, but the political system really makes more rules and try to get more taxes all the time, and it's really like imprisoning the people in the country. So it doesn't look like it if you compare to other countries, but you can really feel it, especially if you look for it.
So again, he's like talking about the German political system here, but I want to focus back on his family, himself, what's going on. So simple question here, is that affecting them?
Is that affecting
Mm.
them?
Now he's actually thinking about it.
Yeah, not really.
The gears are
Not really,
turning. He's thinking about it.
I think, if it's getting worse, it's really affecting them. Because my sister also has like a boyfriend or something in Southern America and stuff. And this is really getting complicated with a political system. So I think to just, be able to say, okay, money doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want here. I can just get you a flat or an apartment there.
Okay. Yeah. You can get her a flat or an apartment in South America. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Rather than what, is she going back and forth right now?
Yeah, all the time. And there's like a big problem with the visas and stuff.
Okay. Right.
So it's
I understand. Yeah.
No problems. But
I mean, yeah, but like a problem is a problem.
Really, yeah.
Okay. I understand, bro. So you want to have enough money. And how about your mom? Is she okay? Has she got a specific problem, or she's all good?
So like he gave me a little bit there with his sister, but like he wants to buy his sister a flat in South America. He mentioned she's going back and forth with visas, spending a lot of money. Again, it's not enough to sell to. I'm not going to like move on that and try sell him a 2.5k coaching package because he wants to buy his sister a flat in South America. So I'm going further now. Now I'm asking about his mom, because it's obviously not his sister that he's overly trying to provide for. He wants to help her out, yeah, but like it's not deep. So now I'm going on to his mom. I'm going after his mom and seeing how he wants to help her.
She's all good, but she's really lonely, and at least money won't change it. But
No, I understand.
my father died 4 years ago.
Okay.
And
sorry to hear that.
She's always like working and stuff, and I just want to release off this hustle.
So bang, here we go. His mom is lonely because his dad died, and she's always working, right? So that's like a heavy motivation. That is something that someone will buy for. Personally, that's something that I would buy for. People will have mixed opinions on this. I'm going to go back after Franz himself and what he wants for his own life. But for now, like that's solid. That's what I'm looking for. He just told me his mom is lonely and he needs to help her out. Now, I'm even going to go deeper into it. You're about to see now. I actually have a call I'm going to jump across to right now, but I'm going to finish this recording afterward. This call review might take a little while, but just buckle up again, continue taking notes, and we're going to finish it out.
Hustle.
Yeah. Okay. Look, completely understand, bro. And again, I relate because it's very, very similar to me. But when I was starting out, my mum, she was still trying to work and she was sick, and I just wanted to release her from that. Okay. And by the way, God bless your father. I recently lost my nana as well. So I hope everything, is okay. I hope you guys are doing well. You're obviously taking control, bro. You're obviously taking ownership and you're pushing forward. You're looking for something to do. So I respect it 100%. So number one, you want to take care of your mom, take care of your sister, sort her out with the visa or getting her a flat in South America, and maybe help your mom go part-time at the beginning if you can.
Yeah, sure.
Take the workload off her. So that's number one. And then
So I'm just recapping what he wants to do for his family there. I just recapped it. Yeah, that's number one. And then I'm going to go back into why he wants it on a personal level. So it's easy, and you're going to see how I break it down from here, but it's easy to kind of, be this great person that wants to help everybody around you. And some people even are going to tell you on sales calls that, yeah, I just want to start a charity. And to a degree, in certain scenarios that could be true, but most people are very, very self-motivated. He probably really wants to leave college or leave the 9-to-5 route or go travel in the world and do what he sees the influencer doing, for example. So I'm going back into that now, and but also at the same time, some people will be motivated to help out their family, help out to a degree, but there's always going to be a selfish why, and you're going to see I'm going to jump into that now.
Yeah, tell me, bro. Number two, I know you touched on it that you don't want to go the kind of 9-to-5 route, but it sounds like, yeah, number one, you want to take care of your family, and bro, military age men, it's so common that we want to put everybody else above ourselves, right? And we want to provide first, and that's what I did. And I understand it. It's probably the right thing to do as well. But let me ask, once they're taken care of, they've got money, you've got money coming in for them, you can help your sister, deload your mom. What do you want for France?
For me, it's not just the freedom.
So the reason I asked it that way, the reason I went, military age men, we always want to help our family first, is so he can't just come back at me and be like, no, that's basically all I want to do. I'm basically saying, look, I know you want to help your family, but we always have selfish whys, and that's okay. So you tell me yours, right? Whereas if I had have asked it in a way of is that your only goal? He might have gone into his personal goals and his personal why, having freedom, he's about to jump into now. But asking it in the way of, look, we always want to put everybody else above ourselves, but what's your personal why as well? What's your personal motivation? It just takes away any flip-flop answer. It's just no, I want you to tell me what you want, what you want for your own. Do you want to move house? Do you want to move country? That's what I'm after there. I'm not looking, because the last thing I want to be is in a position where he comes back and he's no, I'm good. I just want to help my mom and my sister, because I know that it's bullshit. I know that it's not real. So that's the reason I asked it in that way.
Also with my family, then I don't have to always think about it. I can just, solve the problems. Just the freedom to be do whatever I want, and then have enough time and energy to really do the things that matter more.
Yeah, matter to you more.
Yes, that's the point where I'm always thinking about what it could be.
Yeah. And you said have the time and energy to do the things that matter. Do you feel like with the current way, with school, the internship, do you feel like you kind of necessarily don't have 100% of the energy?
The problem is I'm really not good at multitasking.
So when somebody tells you that they want something, that means that they don't have it now. So you've basically got the right of way to ask, oh, so does that mean you don't have it now? So if they say, I want more freedom, oh, okay, you don't have freedom now. And you want to ask it also in a diplomatic way, the way I'm doing there. You can see my language there. Do you feel like you necessarily don't really have 100% of the energy? Because that allows him to be I have 80% of energy, right? He doesn't sound like a slug then to me. He doesn't sound like a 0% energy. He's not getting out of bed. He's allowed to say, yeah, I've got 80% energy, but I'm not good at multitasking, is what he's jumping in and telling me. I'm giving him a bit of leeway, so he's not just doesn't have to explain himself as a complete fuck up, but he does have to admit that, I don't have 100% energy. That's my issue. So I'm just looking at the transcript for one second again, coming back here. Yeah, exactly. Do you feel like the current way with school, internship, what you have going on, you don't have 100% of the energy? So yeah, that's a good
just thing to understand in conversation. When somebody tells you they want something, it means they don't have it. So just ask, oh, so you don't have it now? Then they have to admit, like, yeah, and they give you more about the actual current situation.
Asking. So I'm most of the time just do one thing.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's really easy, to just sit down a couple of hours, maybe 8 to 10 hours a day, and just do one thing, work it out.
Okay.
But if you have like a lot of different things and all of them, with different like deadlines and stuff, it's really messing up the mind. And just to have the freedom to,
Free yourself from that.
free
Focus on
yourself from everything. Just
Okay.
can
Friends, I actually want to say, bro, it's a breath of fresh air having a chat with you, man. Because a lot of people jump on and they tell me they want a Lambo and they want 100K a month next month, and
Yeah, sure.
you're actually grounded in reality, though, from what I can see, right? If I could boil your why, your motivation down to like 2 words, it's like family and freedom is the main 2 things for you. Yeah. Again, you want to provide for your mom, provide for your sister, be the man of the house, basically step up into that role. And number 2, have freedom for yourself, right? Not have to, work for somebody else.
Nobody actually jumps on and tells me they want a Lambo or they want 100K a month, because I just don't accept that. Like, I frame it in a way that nobody can ever give me that answer. But the reason I say that is to just reward him for like good behavior. So this is something I learned from 2 of my really good mentors that basically taught me sales, taught me closing. You want to reward leads for good behavior, right? He's given me some good answers there. He's given me some pain. He's given me what he wants to change. He told me his mind is being messed up. So I'm like, yeah, it's a breath of fresh air talking to you, man. Like, well done on them answers, basically, because then he's going to give me more, right? Rather than if I accepted the bullshit and I was like, yeah, man, I'm so glad that you want to get to 100K a month in a Lambo. He's just going to keep giving me more bullshit. So yeah.
Have somebody else basically take it. So, like you mentioned, like working.
And I'm also just showing him that I understand.
Free your mind of obviously the switching and chopping and changing tasks. Just focus on one thing and focus on your own business. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me, bro. So let's get specific. Where do we need to bring you to so you can actually do those things, right? And like, bro, I already know you're ambitious. I can already tell.
Let me rewind for a second. So if you were kind of half paying attention, pay attention to what I'm about to do here.
Right. And like, bro, I already know you're ambitious. I can already tell no matter what goal, no matter what number you put in place, you're probably going to give me them vibes. But I mean, like, actually realistically, where you can potentially help your mom go part-time, pay some of the bills. Sorry, there's just an alarm going off on my watch here. I didn't snooze. But yeah, it's where you can help your mom out with the bills, help your sister out, possibly get a flat or help out with the visas. I don't know how much they cost or anything. And yeah, be safe in your own mind that you can take a step away from the 9 to 5 route and you can just run your own business. How much you need to make, let's say, per month. And then, bro, like, I know you're going to continue pushing, but I mean, like, what's the minimum we actually, like, realistically?
I think the first now.
So I'm rounding off his why, his motivation with a number. So I want a specific number. I want him to tell me that I need 5K a month, I need 10K a month, whatever it is, to hit my specific goals, right? And again, I'm leaving no room for fluff, because I'm saying, look, I know you're going to continue pushing. I know no matter what goal you put in place, the sky is the limit, because that's what you'll get. If you say, okay, and how much you want to make per month to achieve those goals? Usually they'll give you something like 50K a month, 100K a month. It's common knowledge in the sales space to stretch the goal and make them, really think about making 100K a month and $1 million a month. But like, there's no sense in that, because they're not actually attached to that goal, right? This guy is attached to helping his mum, helping his sister, and leaving the 9 to 5 route, right? He doesn't need 100 grand a month for that. He probably needs 10 or 20 or whatever it actually is. So we want the number in their mind to be real. Like, we want like that number to actually feel real to them and feel achievable, because otherwise you're just operating on a plane of nothingness, like just dreams. So that's why, again, I leave no space. Yeah, I know you're going to keep pushing. I know the sky is the limit, but like, really though, like, to get to your goals, what do we need to do for you? That's how you want to ask it. Yeah, that's my explanation. And you always want to ask it like that, just to even save your own time on the calls, and to also avoid any resistance. Because if somebody gives you an answer of 50K a month, 100K a month, I still sometimes get that answer, even when I ask like this, but I can handle it. But like, you don't want to be in a position where like they feel like you're dragging their goals down or something like that. Someone tells you 50K a month, then you have to go back and you're like, okay, no, I know you're going to go to 50K a month, but what do you really want? But if you just do it from the very beginning, like, there's no disagreement or there's no any tension whatsoever.
number that would really like change a lot of stuff, it would be like between $2,000 and $5,000 a month.
2 to 5K.
Yeah, I think that's for all the online money making guys, it's not, but for a normal person in a normal life, it's like huge difference.
Yeah. So and bro, when you say,
so he's actually said something there that a lot of people won't catch. For a normal person in a normal life, it's a huge difference, right? Like that's actually a red flag, because he needs to start looking at himself like somebody who's already making 2K, 5K a month, because that's going to allow him to invest into himself and get to that next level. So I'm attacking that straight away. I'm like, you'll see what I'm about to say here. I'm about to basically say, look, I was a normal person beforehand. The reason I'm here is, I can frame it however the reason I am here, but I can say because I invested into myself, for example. So you don't want language like a normal person. You don't want him to look at a normal person, because what would a normal person do? They wouldn't start an online business. They wouldn't invest $2,000 into themselves. So I'm about to attack that straight away.
it would change a lot of stuff, like the 5K. Would that actually change the stuff that you want? Like, would that help you help your mom? Would that help you take a step away?
Sorry, I didn't attack it straight away, but I was just making sure like that 2 to 5K, like again, he's really attaching it to helping his mom and helping his sister. So I'm going, when you say it would change a lot of stuff, do you specifically mean you're going to hit your goals? Because like somebody can say, yeah, I want to make 3K a month. Like that would be good. Okay, what does good mean? Does good mean you're actually going to hit your goals though? That's basically what I'm just like clarifying. No, is 2 to 5K going to get you to your goals? Never mind change a lot of stuff. Is it going to get you to your goals? That's, you want to round it off and make it, like actual definite. You want the number to be definite.
Away from college and go all in on business.
Yeah, so I'm really finishing college.
You're definitely finishing college.
Because I thought a lot about it, but I just don't want to be like a guy that did stuff.
Yeah.
So I just finish it, it's like my last year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You only have 1 year left in college.
Yeah, 4 months actually.
Okay. Yeah.
So I never wanted to study anyway, but now I'm just doing it and just finishing it. Yeah.
So I guess the 2 to 5K.
He was just clarifying with me there, like, because I probably just referred to it in the wrong way about leaving college. But I was referring to leaving the 9 to 5 route, leaving that. So he's just clarifying there. No, I don't want to leave college. I want to leave the 9 to 5 route. So then I'm just going to recap again and show him, oh yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that's all that was.
Then that will allow you to not have to go into a job after college.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, bro, let's go. Like saying, and by the way, I know you said it's not a whole lot for online money making guys, but you refer to yourself as like a regular person, but like we all were regular people beforehand. Yeah. So yeah, like when I was working construction, I was making $1,000 a month. 1,100 euros is what I got paid. 280 every week. But bro, yeah.
So again, I just attacked that there. The fact I would have gone deeper into it if he was just looking at me straight face, but he laughed and I could see that it registered with him, so I can move on. It's like, look, I was a regular person. I was making less money than you currently are right now. So basically, like subconsciously telling him, like, bro, you can do this. Also, my whole attitude toward the 2 to 5K a month, I was like, bro, let's go. Like that's, and then I'm going to go into testimonials, and I'm going to talk about testimonials that the influencer has, and again, to further make him actually see himself doing it and believe. But my attitude toward it is like, yeah, 2 to 5K, like for sure, let's do it. I'm not making it out as if it's the easiest thing in the world, but I'm like, doable, it's easy stuff. No matter what number they say, even if they say 50K, unless the business model doesn't allow 50K a month, like obviously don't lie and don't be like, yeah, that's so easy. But if there's genuinely testimonials backing up their number, just be like, yeah, you can definitely do that one. Because they literally can if they put in the same work. So yeah.
You're right as well, though. You've probably seen some of the testimonials. You've probably seen like a 13-year-old guy, 13K in his first month. Like we have, who else? So some more context on me. I'm like an operator for Musa. I get like 8% of everything of all of his businesses. And I run the pages that Musa owns. I have his 14-year-old cousin running some of the pages, and it's obviously based on performance, but he's making 10K a month for himself. He's 14 years old. Not going to lie. When I was 14, I was playing Fortnite. I wasn't even focused on gym, never mind the money. And where was I going with that? And yeah, and there's more guys our age as well. Our biggest testimonial was a guy named Josh. He's 23 years old. He did 45K in December in a month. He did 60.
So the testimonials are true. I've actually said here though that I'm running the page for Musa, right? I'm running the TikTok pages. Now, this is a pretty hot topic, right? Depending on the influencer that you're working for, they will allow you to say that they work on, you work on their team. Again, I'm okay with white lies about this, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really make a difference to Franz, right? His success, his actual motivation coming into the program, and arguably he's going to be more motivated coming into the program because he's seeing me as more of an advisor. He's actually taking the words that I'm saying, and like, I'm telling him to better himself. I'm telling him to show up every single day in the program. You'll see. But you need to be careful. You need to just like double check this with the influencers or with whatever sales manager that you're working with. Some people they like to be upfront that you're on the sales team. But some people are okay with like you saying you're an advisor, you saying that you run pages yourself. Again, it's also like a moral, like people have a moral difference with this. People just don't like lying on the call. Again, I'm okay with it because it doesn't necessarily affect this guy's success. So, but look, if you're not okay with it, just say you're on the sales team, or just say you're an advisor, or you're. But yeah, some influencers are okay with you saying you're a coach, you saying that you're working on their team with actually running the business. But yeah, just double check with your influencer and double check with yourself. 60 million views and where was I go? Oh yeah, so them guys you see, like the testimonials you see, like them guys have obviously paid to get there, right? They've paid for the access to Musa, and bro, the knowledge to make 5k, 10k, 15k a month. Our guys have anywhere from about 2,000 to 5,000 euros. So just double checking, you have money saved up and set aside, haven't you? Because I know you said you're not working; it's an internship. Like, do you actually have savings? So I'm financially qualifying here. I'm like, I really only do this when my schedule is heavily packed up, and sometimes when I have good rapport with them and I can see that they're looking at me like an advisor, I just temp check them in terms of, do you have money saved up? Because I don't want to spend another 40 minutes with this guy or however long it's going to be, and then he tells me he's got $200 to his name. So I'm just financially qualifying him basically. And the way I do it is like, again, I pre-frame him with all of the testimonials. He's imagining, okay, this is going to be me. It's literally coming off the back of his goal, the 2 to 5k a month, having the freedom for himself. So I can then ask that question, and like in his mind, he's thinking about the goal. So a lot of people don't like to drop the price until all of the value is built in the course and they see themselves hitting the goal. But like, the sale has kind of been made here, right? It like because of how clear the goal is in his mind, 2 to 5k, helping his mom, having freedom for himself, like that's kind of where the sale is made anyways in the call. There's still more discovery questions, but like that's a big, like 70% of the sale done, right? So in my opinion, I have the authority to ask him if he's got money with that goal in mind. And I also ask it in a bit of a confused way. Like, yeah, and I said you're doing an internship, like you have like 2 to 5k, don't you? Like, just basically so I'm not invasive and I'm more kind of confused. So then he wants to jump in and clarify and help me. So that's how I ask. That's how I personally, financially qualify. Again, some offer owners won't want you doing this. Some sales managers won't want you doing this. But, once your schedule is actually packed up, if the offer owner is okay with you doing it, you can do it to save your own time.
So it's kind of difficult because it's not difficult. I just invested most of my money, not most of my money, all of my money.
What did you invest in?
I'm really heavy in crypto and all altcoins. Yeah, it's a stupid investment, but I really enjoy it. And yeah, for me, at least makes money. Yeah, so I'm really like liquid on a lot of money.
Yeah, Musa's had some. He had some big plays with some meme coins as well. Obviously, the main income is Creo, our software. It's doing like 500k a month, but he made 500k on Chill Guy coin.
Nice.
Yeah, Chill Guy coin. He made in one day. He made 500k. It was like 517. The play was. But sorry, just double checking. So you're invested in meme coins, but you can
not meme coins, like more legit altcoins.
Okay. So
it's not based on memes, but
sorry. So when you say altcoins, you mean like XRP, Solana, like that?
Yeah, these coins are also like smaller coins. I think my biggest investment now is a Destra network. But don't ask me what they really do.
Okay. Well, all I'm checking, bro, is like, again, the testimonials you see, like they've paid for the guidance from there. They've actually paid for the inner circle. And yeah, you will need access to like 2 to 5k if, again, it is actually a good fit. So are you able to use that money in the altcoins, or are you just like heavily invested?
So if I see like this thing is a better investment, of course I can just switch.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, no, that's the whole thing about investing is that you got to make sure it's better. How much have you got in the coins? I'm curious. Like, are you heavily invested or?
I'm really heavily invested in a couple of $1,000.
Okay, $2,000 you've got coins.
No, so like 5 figures. Yeah, it depends on day to day.
Yeah, like are we like 10K or 90K? Like what?
I think right now it's around 45K.
Okay, 45K. Bro, I'm curious, like where, like, because you mentioned you weren't really working.
So like I've actually gone pretty deep there, to be fair. Like I'm quite invasive there, even looking back on this. But I think we just must have had really good rapport on the call. It seems like we obviously do. So again, like I've got the authority to literally ask him how much do you have invested on his coins. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you're not in the flow of things, if you're not like in the flow of the call. You can't really ask people how much they have, but actually I say that, but again, one of my mentors, like the people like what Josh Post is his name, he's a great guy, learned sales from him. And yeah, like he always stresses, yeah, you can just ask how much cash they have on hand. But he is a very switched on guy as well. He's always in control of the call. Like, don't ask them if you feel out of control of the call. Asking them how much money they have is just going to further take it off track, and they're just going to further just curl up and shy away from you. But again, if you have control of the call, it's actually okay to ask how much they're making or how much cash they have on hand. So I was just trying to gain clarity on like how much money this guy actually had. As you can see, there was no crazy techniques there or anything. I just genuinely wanted to know, like, does he have the money? And okay, now that he has 45K, he told me he wasn't working, so I'm going to ask him how did he make that? Because I want to see how he did it. You got it from the
I worked
internship.
before college.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was living at home, so I made around 8K because I was just working at living at home, no expenses at all. But just give me a second, I have to get a charger cable.
That's okay. Yeah, did you make that money from altcoins or like? Yeah, what's the story?
Yeah. Okay, now perfect. Okay, I just had 1% on my laptop.
That's okay.
I made like 8K from the job, and then I inherited some money from my grandmother. I think it was like 15K, and I just invested all of that. Yeah, that's just compounding, going up and down.
Yeah.
But also, try to help other people to invest. Yeah.
Yeah. And
bro, the people just don't listen to them. To me.
So, what makes you want to do?
So I've got what I wanted there. That I just wanted to know how he actually made it. I wanted to see if, I don't know, like he was all in on meme coins or something like that, and he was just kind of looking at TikTok. So, well, firstly, the main thing I was looking for was, does he actually have the money? I know he has the money now. He's got 45K in meme coins. But now I'm going to get him to sell me on, why do you actually want to do this business? So I want him to realize that, because again, I don't know how he's made his money on crypto just yet. We do get into it. But I want him to sell me on, why do you want to do TikTok? So if you've got 45K in meme coin, in altcoins, whatever it is, like maybe you can double down on that. So I'm about to ask him, why do you like TikTok? Why do you like this business? So I'm always going after him. The questions are always intentional.
Do this business? Like, what makes you actually want to do TikTok above? Because there's so many things you can do. You could go all in on meme coins. You could go all in like trading, day trading altcoins. You could do drop shipping. You could do Amazon. You can do, like what actually makes you like this?
So I really did a lot of day trading before, and it was kind of profitable. But I tried it out. So long-term investment is, at least for me, a lot more profitable than trading. So
yeah. When did you first start trying to make money online and like actually hitting these goals? Like when did you first say to yourself, okay, I don't want to go the 9-to-5 route. I want to have freedom for myself, and I want to help my mom. I want to help my sister. Like, how long have these goals been on your mind?
So I started thinking about making money on.
So basically, the reason that I moved on from making him sell me the business model, because that's what that question was for, is because the only real option for this guy, other than trading, because he hasn't ever mentioned drop shipping or Amazon or any other kind of business model. He hasn't mentioned anything else, but he's literally just told me he did a lot of day trading. It was kind of profitable. Tried it out, but he lost a bunch of money. So long-term investment is more profitable than trading. So what I basically got from there is like, he probably lost some money day trading. So I'm pretty confident that I'm not going to get to the end of the call and he's going to be like, I want to go back day trading. So now I'm going back and I'm saying, how long has this actually been a goal of yours? So I'm widening the gap. I'm really making him realize his actual situation. Like, how long have you been trying to get to 2 to 5K? Just again, to recap what I've even just said right now, I asked him to sell me on the business model so he would get rid of any other options in his mind. He didn't necessarily tell me why TikTok was great, but he told me why the other option isn't really his plan. So I was happy with that. And I pushed on and I said, okay, how long has it been a goal of yours? Also, I'm not completely pushed on from the business model. I can't remember, but I probably do go back into it. But I've just got what I needed from the question there. So I'm pushing on.
When I was age 14, so 7 years ago. But at that time I was, I set up a lot of online stores and stuff.
Yeah.
But I never did really launch them because I was too afraid from the German tax system.
Okay.
And yeah, then really crypto was for me the simple thing, because you can just press buy and sell, and it's so easy. You don't have to really do any tag stuff, and and it's now what do you call it? Okay, I don't know it in English, but it's really that's a problem I now have because I didn't really care about taxes before. And
Okay.
my tax advisor doesn't really like my art kind of investment.
Okay, I see. But like, so you've been trying things since you were 14 years old, and then when did you get serious about it? You feel?
Yeah, I think this was when I was going to university.
So the reason I said when did you get serious about it is I want to get into how long has providing for your mum and having freedom for yourself been a goal, because everyone kind of looks into business when they're 14. Not everybody, but everyone, a lot of people on these calls will tell you, yeah, I was selling sweets in school when I was 13, but that's not necessarily tied to their current goal, their current state that they want to be at. So that's why I said, when did you get serious about it? So he'll probably tell me, yeah, I was 17, 18. That's when I see my mom, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. Okay.
A couple of months before I started the email gadget
agency navigator.
Maybe. That was really interesting. So I worked with so never did get any clients.
So again, I knew that he would probably get into, like I said, I moved on because I just wanted him to say that he didn't like trading beforehand when I asked him to sell me on TikTok. But now he's getting into other stuff that he's actually tried. And this will usually come up once you start talking about the past or how long have they wanted to do this goal. Anyway, so yeah, it's all kind of in one bundle, but we're just having this conversation.
Yeah, but I think it was just because of me, because I was too insecure at the time.
Yeah. Wait, so when was this before university? So what were you, 17, 18?
Yeah, 2022. Yeah, I was 18, 19 years old at that time.
So is that when you really were okay, I need to get to 2 to 5K a month? I need to help my mom and I want to take a step away.
No, at that time, part, but I was thinking bigger and all this crazy. I don't know. I was just a kind of stupid teenager.
Okay.
And then I worked in an insurance company, and for some time did a lot of day trading.
Yeah.
And then I stumbled on.
Can I ask an honest question, bro?
Yeah.
What do you like? So he was just kind of rambling there. So now I'm going to jump in and I'm going to say, what has held you back from making it work since 2022? Because that's when he told me that he's started taking it seriously. He did mention that, he was thinking big and stuff like that, but that 2022 sounds like the time since he's really been trying to make money online and make this work. So I'm going to say, what has held you back? Why haven't you done it? And I want him to say something personal about himself. I want him to say I was lazy or I didn't show up or something along the lines of that. And yeah, he was just rambling there. So I just jumped in and said, can I ask an honest question? That's a very powerful question too. Can I ask an honest question? Because you're prompting an honest answer. If you ask an honest question, you want a genuinely honest answer. Another way you can do it is can I ask a personal question? Or can I share a perspective? And then you kind of share a perspective and then ask a question on it. So yeah, that's just an easy way to slice into them, basically. What do you feel has held you back from actually making this work? Since let's even go to 2022. I know you've been, you mentioned you started when you were 14, but it sounds like 2022 is when you tried an agency.
Yeah. That was the time when I actually started doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, what has held you back?
It was just me, because I had clients that were willing to work with me, But I don't know. I just hadn't the confidence to do it. Yeah. But I think a lot of these things change because
like you didn't have the confidence to actually charge them money.
Yeah, because I was like an 18-year-old boy, and
Okay.
how would it, in my mind it was not worth like a couple of $100 or $1,000. Yeah, I wasn't worth that much. Yes.
Yeah. And
But
then how about the trading as well?
the
What do you
trading
feel
for
like
me,
held you
that
back
was
with
pretty easy because it was just your bits and buttons.
Yeah.
And it
No,
was
but I mean,
big
like,
stake.
what held you back from, like, fast forward to today, having 5K coming in every single month? What do you feel like has held you back with that?
I think it was just fear and greed.
So like he's put it on a plate for me here. He said, I was scared of charging money with the agency, and with trading, I was fearful and I was greedy. That's exactly what I want to hear, because then I can go in and attack that and be like, you can't be fearful and greedy even with this business. You can't be fearful. You can't be, not confident in this business. So are you ready to change? So that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for him to blame himself so that I can go after him and be like, are you ready to change? I'm not going to let you into the program unless you actually change.
Too much fear. I think it was really one of the first weeks. I made, I think, 8K. So I built my portfolio.
The worst thing you can possibly do in trading or gambling.
Yeah,
Like,
it was for me. It was actually a really good thing to do because it was, I was locked in it. I was so committed to it because of this early money that I got. I immediately lost most of it.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you get early money at the start, you're locked in.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really apply to trading because it's actually a skill, but I always hear about that happening with gambling. And it's like you make a bunch of money at the start. But okay, so you're saying the main, really, it sounds like the common denominator was fear was the biggest thing. Fear / greed when it comes to trading long term.
Yeah, but also that that diminished. So I think I got my portfolio to, I think, 180K. So just the dip that now affects me. So if you count it like that, I made 5K a month, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, so yeah, that's.
I don't want to. I don't want to. So trading is for me. I don't want to trade. It's just investment. It's money that you save up. I don't really want to have a skill that gives me like a constant flow of money.
I see.
So I can do other stuff I can really rely on. As you see, like it was 180K. Now it's 45K.
Yeah. When did that happen?
Bang. We just figured out why he doesn't want to do trading and why he doesn't just keep pushing with trading. He lost 135,000. And he's going to say in the past couple of months that's happened. So he's seen the volatility of trading. This is why he wants to build a skill and he doesn't want to just rely on the markets. So again, that's coming back to like him selling me on the business model. Like I now understand why he wants to learn a skill, why he wants to learn a business rather than continuing with trading. So yeah, I'm just going to continue prodding into this and be like, oh shit, like this is why this guy actually wants to learn a skill.
You can rely on. It's just the how do you call it, the fluctuation, up and down volatility of the stocks.
When was that? Like when did it drop?
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago actually.
Couple of weeks ago. So like this guy is like, now I'm like, yeah, this guy is gonna buy. Like there's no way. It's imagine losing that amount of money. You'd be in such an emotional state. You'd be in a state of even slightly panic, right? Obviously he's not visibly panicking here on the screen, and he does downplay it, but no matter who you are, if you lose 135 grand and you only have 180, it's a pretty bad experience. So like that's a buying trigger. That's a massive buying trigger. He's just like, he wants to make a change in himself. That's just green lights are going off in my head. That's something you can always cling on to. Like if somebody tells you they're in real estate and you know that there's recently been a downturn in the market, or they tell you that they've lost a couple of houses, like you're in a state of losing. So they just want to gain. They just want to get something new, get a skill. And if they tell you they've lost a lot of money in trading, or they lost a lot of money in crypto or the market in general, like they're in a buying state. They're in a buying mood.
I think so. Bitcoin hit the $110,000.
Yeah,
and then it just dropped again. But I'm really like bullish. So for me, it's not a problem.
So you lost 135K in 2 weeks?
Nah, not 2 weeks. Let me see. It was 1.5 months. Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
But for me, it's not money that I make or lose. It's just you have the. It's like if you buy stocks, you have the stock, and it doesn't matter how much it's worth.
So did seeing that kind of make you realize that you want to focus on a skill and you want consistent money coming in?
No, I wanted it before. because I always knew that, it's nice to make money with investment, but it's not like a reliable. You can't really, if you try to, sustain yourself investment, the fear and greed is much higher because you have to make money.
Okay.
And that's a really bad thing.
Okay, I understand.
So again, he's saying he's not really affected and he understands stocks, but like he's definitely affected. Like there's no, I know he's saying he's not affected and he visibly comes across as if he's not. But like I'm empathizing with the guy here. Like he's literally lost 135k in like 2 months. So no matter what he says, like I just naturally know human nature, like he probably is slightly affected by it. So yeah.
Yeah, really what I'm asking is like, you definitely want to do this business, right? This isn't
That's really what I want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm rounding that off there, going like, you definitely want to do this business, right? This, and then he goes, yeah, I definitely want to.
100%. Can I share a perspective with you?
Now, can I share a perspective? Now I'm going to go after his fear, his greed, and the lack of confidence beforehand, because he needs that coming into this business. So I want him to basically admit like, yeah, I'm different now. I'm ready to make this business work. And that's really the last thing that I want. A lot of people go into cost and action. What's going to happen if you don't make this work? Personally, I don't know whether it's for this offer or I don't know if it's the way that I actually sell, but it kind of comes naturally. And I don't ask it every single time, but I still get paid in fulls. I still get PIFs. It really depends. I drop in a cost of an action when there's not really much change. There's not really much commitment from them. I'm just like what happens if you don't do this? Because you're pretty comfortable right now. But the last thing I'm looking for from this guy is like, he needs to stop being fearful. He needs to stop being greedy, and he needs to have more confidence in himself. Once he has those things, like, okay, cool, you're welcome into the program, and then I'm going to pitch him. So yeah, just watch how I do this, basically. So can I share a perspective? I'll start that again.
Okay, 100%. Can I share a perspective with you?
Yeah.
Because I know you mentioned, I know trading is slightly separate. You're treating that as investing now, and the fear and the greed is gone. But even with the agency, right? Let's go back to then. You mentioned the biggest thing that held you back was kind of insecurity, like fear to charge that money and to show up and be paid like that, right? It was like your view of yourself, obviously, right? Now, here's the reality, bro. No matter what business you pick, drop shipping, an agency, even becoming a YouTuber, getting paid like that, Amazon FBA, me could name 100 different businesses. Number one, they all basically work. Like every one of them, you can definitely make 5K a month with an agency. You can make 5K a month with drop shipping. They all work to get to 5K, right? But it's going to be a theme, no matter what business that you go to, that you need that strong view of yourself, right? Yeah. And there can't be any insecurity. There can't be any fear. Yeah. And it's this exact same thing with TikTok as well, bro, right? We can give you everything, right? We give you the exact, like, it's like a recipe to bake a cake, right? And when I say everything, like to get to your 5K, like I just know you will, because there's guys younger than you doing more than that. Like, but it's a recipe, right? It's the right amount of eggs, the right amount of sugar, the right amount of flour. But you still have to be the man that shows up and fucking bakes the cake.
I know.
You know what I mean? So that's like kind of the last question that I want to ask. I know you said that was a couple of years back, but do you feel like you are in the right headspace? You're in the right time in your life to actually go out?
So what I've done there is commoditized every business model. So Amazon FBA, drop shipping, no matter what you do, you can get to your 5K, because that further puts the blame on him, and it further puts the responsibility on him to admit that he needs to change. So I'll say that again. I've commoditized every single business model, because it is true. Most businesses, you can definitely hit 5K. And if this guy had committed since 2022 to any business, probably be at 5K. So I just want him to realize and understand that, and realize that, shit, yeah, I need to commit now then. Yeah, I just need to start today, no matter what the business is, because then the sale is completely made, and no matter what I pitch him, he's going to buy. I just wanted to let that sit, because this is where the sale is like nailed in. This is where it actually gets made, because anything you pitch, as long as you make sense, as long as you sound like you make sense, like they're going to buy into it, as long as they're ready to make a change. It doesn't necessarily matter. You're not selling coaching calls. You're not selling whatever. This is what you're selling, the change in themselves. So yeah, are you actually in the right headspace? You're in the right time in your life to go out and make this work, or how are you feeling? And then I'm going to let him ramble a little bit and see what he says. Make this work, or how are you feeling?
That was the one thing I really was focusing on the last year. So I spent like a really huge amount of money. I think it was like 25, 30K to go to a lot of like, how do you call it, birds education stuff. So the German Tony Roberts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that at least for my mental health stuff, it changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then the university at the other time and all the other stuff, so I didn't have time. Now it's in a year, so I don't do these seminars anymore. They're finished. I think 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah.
And now I wanted to, use that new skills, or how do you call it, whatever, to really try it out. And
You're saying now you want to use the same skills, and you've been going for the past year to these seminars, have you?
Yeah. Now I want to,
Yeah. And why now?
Why now? Yeah, because why not?
No, but I mean, why now compared to like 6 months ago or like 3 months ago?
I just had too much of a hustle because I was traveling between Germany and Austria. So I want to say more or less every weekend I tell my mother, and then I have to do a lot of things, like making, how do you call it, chopping wood and these basic tasks.
You have to be the man of the house. Yeah, you have to do the man.
And then the university stuff. And I was traveling a lot through the seminars. So Frankfurt, sometimes to Istanbul, Sweden. Yeah.
Okay.
At least for me at that time. Also, I wasn't that. Yeah. Well, look, for you, maybe my room looks messy up here, but it is really clean normally. Yeah. If you can see the whole view. And at that time, I was in a bad relationship. I was also like, I didn't want to fix my life. I just wanted to change my life. So I'm living in the same room as last year. But last year, everything was really messy, and it was like, yeah, okay, I just make money and then I'm out. And in October, it just changed for me most of the things, because I just said, okay, I don't want to, say, okay, I wait for that or do that. I just want to change it now. I just want to make it work.
So he's kind of giving me a bit of bullshit. Like I was busy. I didn't really have time. I'm giving him a bit of leeway because I can see that he is, in his mind, being truthful. I can see that he's sharing about his relationship. I can see he's sharing about visiting his mum. He's talking about cleaning up his room, finishing his life. And these last couple of lines here, I don't want to say I want to wait. I just want to change it now. I just want to make it work. Again, that's buying language. So I'm kind of letting him go a little bit. I'm not jumping down his throat when he says that he's busy. If you feel as though someone's bullshitting you and they're like, yeah, I just didn't have time, like you definitely want to jump on that and be like, well, why do you have time now? Or you want to say something along the lines of, okay, well, what if you don't have time in future, or something like with that kind of frame. But I'm letting this guy go because like he is in my frame. He's answering my questions. I have control of the call. So I'm just letting it play out, and I'm seeing what he actually says. I probably will jump in with some sort of question clarifying everything. But yeah, he's giving me nice stuff here. I'm out of a breakup. I just want to make it work. I've cleaned my room. This is all signs of he has a better view of himself, and he does want to invest in himself, and he does want to make a business work. So let's just see how it plays out. Yeah.
Make it nice.
And so in October, you actually started doing things. You started making things work. Okay. And when was that? When you guys broke up? Is that when that was?
There was, I think, a couple of weeks, a month before October.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was maybe in August.
Okay. Yeah. So even since October though, because that's like.
So now I'm going after him because like he's been changing things since October. So why hasn't he started a business then? So that's what I'm going to ask him. 6 months is a long time, no matter who you are. 3 months is a long time. So I'm going after him again, and I'm still saying, okay, why now though? Again, I didn't jump down his throat, but I'm just kind of acting more confused. Okay, even since October, and then I go and ask my question. Yeah, 6 months as well. Like, why do you feel like it's the right time to lock in on a business and make this work now? Because again, bro, we can give you everything.
We wait so long, so many times, so I just don't want to wait anymore. There was so many things about. I don't want to get myself distracted anymore. So I was hustling through November, December, to get my bachelor thesis and the internship stuff. There was like a lot of things in December and January as well, and February I was in the summer school internship kind of stuff. And now just I have free time the next 6 months.
Okay, now you've got a clean slate.
No, not 6 months. I have free time the next couple of years because I can do my bachelor in part time. That's no problem, and nothing else. That's really try to do my time.
So it's time to lock in.
Yeah, it's time to lock in now.
Fully go for this, and 100%, bro.
Like I'm happy with that. Again, some people would go deeper and be like they would still get something like very, very deep. Okay, but why is it time to lock in? Because he hasn't given me something solid like I need to do this because my mom is going to die in 6 months. Like it's not something like that. But overall, I'm happy with his story. Like I'm happy and I'm accepting his story. Again, if somebody is a little more A-type and they're being a little resistant, like I'm not going to let them through with that. But I'm letting this guy through because he's mentioned a few things like, yeah, I was busy in January, February. Again, that's a bit of bullshit. But everything he told me leading up to that, it kind of adds up in my mind. So again, like you have to go call by call. You have to get a sense of the lead. Do they actually want to make a change? Do they actually want to improve themselves? But excuse me, once you get that, like, yeah, there's no need to like stick in it for too long. He said, yeah, it's time to lock in fully. He's ready to go. So yeah, I'm happy enough with that, and I'm going to push on and pitch him now. Well, first I pitched the business model, and then I pitched the program, and then obviously close. Again, like all we have to do then is take your energy that you got and direct it in the right way. Actually, give you the right things to work on. Because again, bro, like that's why I always double, triple check with like anybody coming in, because again, it's like we can give you everything, but you still have to be in the right headspace. You need to be the right person to come in and make it happen. You're showing me that you are, and I'm going to take you on your word, bro. You seem like a man of your word. So 100%, let's get the work in. Let's direct the energy. So let me actually break down the business for you. Let me talk about small. It's actually a good line there that I've dropped in. You seem like a man of your word. I'm going to take you on your word, because he's told me it's time to lock in fully. So if he tries to even slightly give me, I need to think about it at the end of the call, or I need to wait 2 weeks or something like that, like in his mind, even if it's subconsciously, even if he's not thinking about when he said that to me, he's going to be opposed to doing that, because he's a man of his word, and he said it's time to lock in. So that's just a little bit of a little line there that's going to help out. It's not going to close the deal, but it's going to help out slightly. And you always want them little 1%.
TikTok, the creativity program, the ins and outs of it, because you always hear it explained in different ways. You always hear different versions, but I'll just talk about it as of today, as of right.
This call review is already very long, so I'm going to skip forward and I'm going to go to the close, because every pitch is going to be different. But basically what I do here, because this is a bit of sauce, I pitch the business model in a way that, you know, you kind of need the coaching with it. Like pitch the business model in a way that it's a really good business model, but only if you have a structure. Again, it's going to be case to case. Whatever offer that you're on, they're going to want you to pitch the business model differently, or some of them don't even want you to pitch the business model because it's maybe an improvement offer, right? Let's say you're selling to high ticket sales reps that want to go from setter to closer. You're not really selling them the business model. You're selling them on being a closer sometimes, but it's not a huge kind of knowledge gap with the business. So anyways, I just pitch him the business model here, and then I pitch him the actual program. And again, that's going to be different for every single offer. So I'm just going to skip down and go to the close. Again, there's no objections, but it will be good for you guys to see how I handle it. It's just very calm, collected. You'll see. Pitch them. I probably will do a module on how to pitch properly and how to have a solid pitch depending on what offer that you're selling. But overall, what you need to know is just you want to constantly be tying it back to their goal. So again, his goal was 2 to 5K. No matter what I'm talking about in the pitch, like it could literally be talking about why, you know, if you're even selling someone a dolphin, just talking about why it's good toward their goal. You just always like 3 or 4 or 5 times want to tie it back to their goal and how what you're showing them is going to get them there. But again, it's going to be different for every single offer. We can work one-to-one on pitches, anybody watching this, but I probably will make a module on how to pitch properly. But yeah, so what I'm going to show now is just the close. So I'm going to say, you know, that's what we do. How do you feel, basically? That's actually the inner circle, Franz. That's what we do. Does it make sense now? How the kids are coming in and just literally printing cash because we're giving them the clips.
Yeah. So you understand why you do all of this. So, but you have different products for different, you know, like price angles. Just, you know, interesting for me.
Say it again, bro. Sorry.
You have different, like you said, in a circle, you have like different products because, you know, for different people that clicked on different things. Some people.
Well, actually, only have 2 options. We have a 6-month option.
So he's asked me a bit of an odd question. Like, I don't really always get that question at the end of a pitch, and he doesn't seem too concerned. He said, yeah, it's just an interest for me. And again, we've got great rapport by this stage. Like we've had the whole call together. He was loving the pitch as well. So, but what I jump in and do is basically clear up what a possible concern would be surrounding that question, right? The concern would be that he's not getting the right product for him, right? So I'm just going to make sure, like, no, I'm giving you the right product. Or the concern would also be that he would want to start out on a smaller scale. So this is a 3-month option that I've shown him here. In his mind, he might be thinking, oh, maybe there's a 1-month option that I can just start with. I want to clear that out of his mind. I'm going to be like, no, there's no 1-month option. Basically, what I do is tell him that the 3-month is the lowest option. And we have a 6-month as well. So you'll see the way that I do it. But basically, the concern as a sales rep on this question would be that they want to start out on a smaller scale, which is obviously less money up front. Or they feel like, they're not completely trusting you or something like that. So watch what I do here. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Look, you're more than welcome to come on board for the 6-month option. I actually just don't think you're going to need it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think
I'm just interested on the
like
upselling side of things.
There's going to be no upsells inside, just so you know. This is the closest you can get to it, so there's nothing after this. But if you really more than welcome, come into the 6 months. If you want my personal opinion, you're not going to need more than 2 or 3.
So I said he's more than welcome to come in for the 6 months. You're more than welcome to pay us more money. I just don't think you're going to need it. And me leaning in and saying it like that and kind of lowering my tone, lowering my voice, like that gives, he's going to trust me way more because of that. He's like, oh, this guy could have told me about the 6-month version, but he doesn't think I'm going to need it. So he's actually saving me money and he just trusts me more, right? Whereas I just knew he didn't have intent for the 6-month version. Honestly, looking back, I actually probably could have pitched him the 6-month. I regret not doing it, but it was all good. We collected a lot more cash on that day, so it doesn't really matter. But basically what I'm doing there is like, number one, this is the lowest option, and like this is all you're going to need, man. I don't want any more of your money because you're not going to need it, and it just builds a lot of trust. So don't tell Musa I told you that, because obviously it makes more sense for us to take you on for longer at the beginning, but I just don't even honestly personally think you'll need it. But again, more than welcome. If you want to revisit after 3 months, no issue. Let us know. But anyways, that's the inner circle, bro. Like,
sounds great.
Yeah, again, I know you mentioned like you're ready to lock in, ready to put this into play. On a quadruple check, like, you feel like this is what you need to lock in on and put into play, follow along this recipe? Do you feel like you're going to post the clips, you're going to stay in touch with us, attend the calls? This is what you're looking for?
Yeah, this is really what I'm looking for, because at least I think I can, make anything work, but it is so much easier if you have really people that really did it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
I'm glad you said that. Like, we feel the same about taking people on. Yeah, we could probably brute force some people that, and make some people work and get some good testimonials, but it's way easier when we're working with somebody like you, who you're just ready to lock in. You've got a bit about yourself and your why is actually strong. You're ready to make this happen. So yeah, 100%, bro. I'm happy. I'll talk next steps, onboarding, what that actually looks like.
So once you get the commitment that they feel like it's going to work for them, just don't sit in that for too long. I've just, again, reaffirmed why he's a good fit. But now I'm going to talk next steps, onboarding. Like, we're not going to just keep talking about the inner circle or anything. Like, he's told me that he feels like it can work for him. Okay, let's get you started then. That's basically my energy.
In terms of everything there, getting connected with the team. And again, bro, let's not get lost. Getting to the 5K a month, having the freedom that you're actually after. One time.
And always, before I drop the price, I go one more time back to their goal, having the freedom that you want, helping out your family. Then I go investment, because just to make sure they're tying it into that.
Investment of 2,497. So this is about 2,200, 2,300 euros. And by the way, we take crypto. So if you want to just do a crypto transfer, that's no issue, just to make it easy. And with this too, bro, we stand over it out of our own pocket that you double it. So you're guaranteed to at least make 5K within the 3 months from your new page that we start with you. If you don't, we continue forward. So we make you 60 more clips out of our own pocket, 2 more hours of Moose's time on the one-to-one calls. And like, low-key, bro, I'd probably call you myself and be like, how the fuck did you not make at least 5? But no, like, on a serious note, it will stick with you. So we'll figure it out together. This is just like our guarantee.
I just crack a little bit of a joke there. I actually always do that just to take the tension, like take the pressure out of like, I'm pitching you right now, I'm asking for your money. Again, like, it's not needed, but again, for me, it comes back to a similar thing of building rapport at the beginning. It just helps me kind of settle into it. So yeah, I just crack a bit of a joke, like, there's no way you don't hit the guarantee. And also, when I first pulled up the guarantee, like, I was almost like in disbelief myself. I was like, oh, and by the way, like, we literally stand over this. Like, this is an insane guarantee. In like, that's the energy that I'm giving. It's like, we stand over this with our own pocket.
To be like, we're in this together. Let's figure it out. So that's everything. So
That sounds great, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
next steps will be super simple. I'd ping you the link. Usually, if you're going to pay with a card, you can pay just
Yeah. So he's in now, and he paid. So he actually paid through crypto. Paid 2,500, 2,497, and that's the full call review. So it was quite a long one. Yeah, like we're touching an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes here, but I think it's going to be a good training module. Like this is basically how I always run my closing calls. Again, it's a framework. It's not an exact script that you should be following. Like if you ask these same questions to somebody that you speak to, obviously they're different people, so there's going to be different reactions. But yeah, this is usually how I actually run my sales calls. So just if you guys watch this, you can even take it in while you're in the gym, take it in while you're walking. Ideally, you can sit down, take notes, look back and do it. But yeah, that's how most of your closes should look. There shouldn't be an insane amount of objections at the end. Obviously, you need to be aware of objections and you need to be able to handle them. Especially at the beginning when you're still finding your feet with framework and checkpoints and but ideally you don't want to be getting a crazy amount of objections because it's just going to lengthen your calls for no reason, and it's also just going to stress you out dealing with objections all day. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the call recording. Ping me with any questions, any extra help that you need, and yeah, let's get to work, man. Let's make some money.